check this monster out.
So here we're gonna show the interior design, architectural drawing of what our client's gonna do.
This is a pre-engineered build. It just takes a little time because this is all pre-fabricated. Like everything here comes in where you can't make modifications that much. So that's what we love about the bolt-up buildings, but it is a process. Welcome back, Pack. This is Adbeel from WolfSteel Buildings, and we got a special guest out here. Roy, welcome back to the channel. How you doing, man?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, Pack, I'm back. I'm super excited today to be here at this project. We're here in Burleson. It's a beautiful day out, just enjoying the weather and checking out the progress on this project here. I have a list actually of the things that we want to go over. Number one is the existing concrete. So this project here, our client called us. He's like, hey, I have a slab already. What can we do? So the existing concrete, number one. Number two is how did we anchor to that concrete? So we use special concrete bolts for that. Then number three is the features of the bolt up. This is a bolt up red iron building. So it has a little bit different features than our standard weld up buildings. And number four is the process. When I order a red iron bolt up building, what all goes into that? So we'll touch base on that. Number five is the insulation. For this project, we're gonna do a fiberglass insulation. It's gonna look, like David says, sick. And then lastly, but not least, it also has custom doors and windows, and those will get put in later on, so stay tuned for those.
Awesome. Well, guys, I'm super excited. I'm glad we pointed out some of the things we're going to be talking in this tour. So don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the finished project. But right now, follow us. Let's go. So guys, we're here in Burleson, Texas. Man, if you can hear some of the background music, our guys always put some good music to enjoy the day. We want them to have a good time, right? If you have a good time, they're hardworking, but they also like to have a good time. You're happy doing what you're doing. You're gonna produce good quality work. So that's music, and enough time always results into a good quality buildings. Just like what you're seeing, check this monster out. This is a 50 by 80 metal building. This is a red iron bolt up. So there is quite a bit of differences on the red iron bolt up. What is your client using this building for, Roy?
So here we're gonna show the interior design, architectural drawing of what our client's gonna do. But they're gonna put like office spaces, second floor, so office spaces above and below. And then out here, it's gonna be more like a showroom.
On this side, it's gonna be a showroom.
So they're also gonna epoxy the floor, make it look really nice.
Nice.
It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be sick. Actually, David and the Dream Team worked with our client here and sold this project. So congratulations to the Dream Team. And we're on our coordination side. We're making this all possible. Check this out. Now this is a red iron bolt up, so it did go through a different process to how we anchored down to this existing concrete. This concrete been here for a while, right?
Yeah, so talking to the client, I think he mentioned it's been here for a few years. So the process that we did for the existing slab on how to anchor the building is a little bit different than what we normally do. So normally what we do is we come set up the forms, and then we embed the anchors into the concrete. So when the concrete's poured, those anchors are then sticking out, and then we just build right on top of that.
Yeah, so these beams basically already come, because this is a pre-engineered build. So it's already got us you could say like holes. As long as the bolts are set in place exactly as the measurements say on the plans, they will line up. In this case, this slab was already existing. So our engineer recommended or required that we insert or we create some holes in the concrete, and then there he is, he's getting it for us.
We see here, so really what we're looking at is pretty much just this part here is what is exposed above the slab, but everything else is embedded. And the process to do that is we had to drill into the concrete, and then we epoxy. The epoxy kind of comes like in a silicone tube, and it's squeezed into the hole, and then the rod is then inserted into that hole, and then once it hardens, it becomes super solid.
Super solid.
Yeah.
Now, it was a little bit of a different process compared to, like you mentioned, the best recommendation is to have these bolts embedded during the concrete pour or before, having it preset, and then when you pour, it's already inside and embedded in the concrete. Now this is, if you already have a concrete slab, this is how our engineer recommended for embedding these bolts into the concrete. Check this out, just how beautiful this is.
So now let's go over the features of a bolt-up building.
Okay.
What we might see it's a little bit different than our weld-ups. So we see here alongside here, we have a lot of bolts in the holes. So everything comes already pre-made with that, and then it's all put together on site with the bolts.
So yeah, so a bolt-up building is very much different. So you can see right here, you know, all these purlins already have holes. All the clips, we call them weld clips, they're already, you know, everything is basically it's like a kit. So technically, it's almost like...
It's like you're buying a puzzle and it gets put all together on site. Where a weld up, it's just a raw material, so you're creating the puzzle pieces on site and then welding it all together. Here is we have the puzzle pieces and then it's just put together. Also here up top and then on that wall there, we see these cable braces or X braces. So that helps with the structural stability of the building for wind as well. But over here on this wall, we had to take that out. So in order to take that out, we had to then reinforce it. You see here that large beam across, and then on the sides, that's called a portal. And the reason why that was put there is because we're gonna have those custom door and windows in this area here. So if we had that X bracing, you would have that bracing right through your doors and windows, and
You don't want that.
you don't want that, yeah.
So this portal is because there's also, there's gonna be a lot of windows. So you're gonna be seeing the architectural plan that shows, you know, how this building is gonna look at the end. But we got a commercial door here, a big picture window here, and then a bunch of windows all over this wall. That's the thing with red iron bolt ups, Roy, that a lot of our clients say, man, they take so long. It's a process, which we get into number 3.
The process of a bolt
The
up.
process of a bolt up. You know, these are pre-engineered buildings. So these are fabricated in a factory, in a shop. So since they're fabricated in a shop, I mean, that's, you know, all the holes are already pre-drilled, everything is lined up. If the holes don't line up, means something is off squared, something is not plumb. So that's what we love about the bolt-up buildings, but it is a process. What's the timelines?
The timelines is forever. I'm just kidding. No, it's approximately about 10 to 20 weeks, but everything depends on, one, the size of the building and the complexity of the building. If the building has a lot of doors, windows, a lot of features, it's gonna take a little bit more time. If it's pretty much just a bare building, no windows, just pretty much as your standard garage, it might be a little bit quicker. But in a bolt-up, do expect a longer lead time, but it's more of the fabrication time. And I can break it down on why the time.
Yeah, break it apart. So the first phase of it is?
The first phase, so when you're getting a bolt-up building, you're getting an engineered building.
Yeah.
So that would be the first phase, is the engineering process. We have to take the whole design, the whole building, put everything together to make it structurally sound, and then come up with a drawing to make sure that it's structurally sound and be able to put up on site.
So like, for example, this process here with the engineering took about 2 to 3 weeks, just because of those windows and doors. We needed to make sure, even in that corner, the original design had it pretty close to the edge. He did make us move it more inside because of the needed supports and columns. So it just takes a little time, because this is all prefabricated. Like, everything here comes in where you can't make modifications that much on this type of building. Once it's here, that's how it's going to be built.
Also here, since we had the existing slab, it's kind of, we're creating the building to the slab, but typically it's the other way around. So when we do the concrete work, we have to design the building first and then make the slab to the building. In this case, it was backwards. We had the slab and we made the building to the slab.
So there was a lot of those challenges on that side. So that's the first phase, which typically takes about, what, 2 to 3 weeks?
2, 3, sometimes even 4, depending on complexity. Again. And then from there is the production. The plans are stamped and sealed, so no more changes can be made. Now it's sent off to the factory saying, hey, let's build, this is what's going to be fabricated. So it's kind of like an assembly line at, like, for example, like a car. If you order a brand new car today, you're not going to get your car next week, or maybe not even within a month. It's going to take some time, maybe 3 to 6 months, something like that. So kind of the same thing with the building. It would go through like an assembly line. All the components are manufactured, put together, and then it's delivered to the site.
So that's what the time frame takes, and it's a lot different than a weld-up building. Now the pro of a pre-engineered building is it comes with a set of plans, so it's already engineered, so you can get a lot of permits with it, especially if you need plans. And even if you're in a commercial building like this, or even residential, I recommend engineered buildings. Weld-up buildings, on the other hand, they're faster, and again, I still think that a bolt-up building, there's a lot more higher quality control, because everything is more in a control setting. There's a lot more technology involved in fabricating all the components. So we'll be talking a lot more about weld-ups and bolt-ups. So stay tuned, because that video is also coming out. Or if it was already produced by the time this video, check out that video, because it does explain a little bit more of the differences between a weld-up and a bolt-up. But next, now let's go into the next one, which is insulation. Roy, let me turn the camera around. Talk to me about what are those bands all along that they're installing right now? That's what they're working on. What is that?
Yeah, so those are insulation bands. If we see here up close, they have these little spikes, or they look like little arrows pointing up. But what those are, they actually take these out, and it's going to have a single layer fiberglass insulation. So it's going to be in this cavity. We're going to have insulation that goes in here, and this is going to hold the insulation in place so it doesn't fall back. Those are what these bands are for.
On this side, on the walls, what R value we're going to have?
So we're going to have an R value of 30. R value 30 for the whole building, the roof and the walls.
Nice.
And the insulation here is going to be about 9¼ inch or so. And then on the roof one's going to be interesting because it's a double layer. So it has one layer in between the purlins, and then it's going to have another layer above that.
Yeah, so it's basically the one layer of fiberglass going this way, and then another layer going on top over the purlins.
So they're going to be perpendicular.
Yeah. And then the backing, which is going to be phenomenal. So stay tuned, guys, because the backing of this is going to be something that you might want to consider for a red iron building. What colors are we going to have here?
We're going to have our favorite colors. Can anybody guess? That's right, black and white. So we're gonna have white on the walls, and black on the roof.
Yeah,
or
so
the ceiling.
we joke about it because last year about 40% of our builds were black and white. So we joke about it because of that. Black and white's just been extremely popular. If you've been watching our channel, you probably see a lot of black and white. Well, the interior is gonna be that way, but it's gonna be really cool because what's gonna stick out is gonna be these beams, which are a different color, which got the gray, because the exterior is gonna be this baby blue, which is not really baby blue, what's it called? Ocean blue, Hawaiian blue, and the truck with gray. So, well, you're probably seeing it on the architectural plan. So stay tuned, guys, because that is coming up. And last but not least, what are we talking about next, Roy?
The last item on our list is the custom doors and windows that we're going to be installing for this project.
So we do have the steel skin doors with insulation on the sides, but here's going to be like the main entrance for this office space, and we're going to have some really cool custom doors and windows. We got a really custom door entrance here, and then also just a lot of windows. If you're seeing that on the architectural plan, you're gonna see it when it's complete. Now these are custom, right, Roy? So on our red iron projects, we can do a little bit more customization.
Yeah, so we ordered these windows a while back, so that might also be a plus of the time frame for a bolt-up red iron, is it gives us a little bit more time to plan everything and get everything ordered. These windows here, we're about 12 to 14 weeks out to get ordered and get delivered and installed.
So it lined up with the building. So it gives us a little bit more time for, you know, ordering any custom windows and doors, and it all lines up. So these doors and windows are coming in sometime this week, very, very soon. So again, guys, I hope this video gave you guys a little bit more information of our red iron bolt-up projects. We got a lot coming up, so stay tuned. And Roy, any final comments?
No, just stay tuned. We'll be doing another video on the doors and windows and the insulation, so stay tuned for that.
It's gonna be exciting. So we get really excited about these metal buildings, although we've been doing them for so long. Don't we get tired of it? I don't think we do. There's always something new. There's always something to learn. And we like to share it with you guys. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
True.